Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
It's the call that sent Detroit firefighters scrambling.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
2 firefighters trapped as a vacant home collapses under their feet. And Sky 4 captures the rescue in real time.
And take a live look now at Detroit Receiving Hospital, where the last firefighter was taken after spending 2 hours trapped in the rubble. The good news, he was alert, talking, and moving his extremities when he got out. In all, 8 firefighters were taken to the hospital.
You got the first push alert from Click on Detroit on the app at 2:28 p.m. 1 firefighter trapped, 1 rescued after vacant burning building collapses in Detroit. We carried it all live here on Local 4.
And that Mayday call happened as crews responded to a fire at a vacant home on Detroit's east side.
That home on West Hollywood, not far from 7 Mile and John R. Shortly after that call, crews from across the area responded. We bring in Sean Lay live at the scene. The big question they've been trying to figure out is how it all started, Sean.
Well, I tell you what, fire marshal is here. You can see the car of the fire marshal as the investigation unfolds. ATF also here when a firefighter is injured, and also reports of fires being set in the neighborhood. But here's the house in question we're talking about here. You can see how it's kind of collapsed in on itself. Also draw your attention to the front. There's the hydrant not working at the time. We'll see just how much that played a role in all this. But there's the debris you can see right over my shoulder here in essentially the driveway of the home. That's what came down on this firefighter, that kind of debris. That's what had to be removed. And in a breathtaking rescue that took about 2 excruciating hours. Take a look.
We have 1 firefighter trapped. He's conscious. He's talking to us. We're in the process of getting him out, getting him transported to the hospital.
Detroit Fire live on Local 4 this afternoon, giving us the excruciating play-by-play on saving a firefighter's life. It began just after 1:30. Firefighters inside a vacant home here on Hollywood near John R. on the city's east side, when the second floor and part of the first floor collapsed around a team of firefighters.
We're trained extensively in the academy. During our training, we train for these type of structures. We train for these type of collapses all the time.
We were right there as most of those firefighters walked out exhausted, but one firefighter who has more than 20 years on the job, part of the fire team based at Livernois and Curtis, he was trapped under 1.5 feet of hot, sharp, smoldering debris.
But we're family. If one goes down, we all go to work.
We watched as firefighters worked for more than 2 hours to carefully rescue that firefighter. I could see the firefighter's face, hands, and arms. They were black, covered with ash and soot. He was on oxygen as he was being wheeled away, but he was finally out of there. Firefighters praying right after the incredible rescue.
Right now we're being hopeful. He is conscious, and that's all I have at this moment.
Back our live. We've been here ever since that firefighter was, well, since they were working so hard to get him out, and then we saw him be taken out. Detroit police then closing down John R. and 6 Mile and I-75 to get him over to Receiving Hospital. Every firefighter we see here, they tell us that he's going to be okay. Didn't look good coming out of here getting that oxygen, but I am told by firefighters he will be okay. And again, take a look behind me. That's the type of debris that came down on top of him. That's the type of debris that had to be carefully removed from that firefighter. Much more coming up at 6 o'clock. Chief Harris gave us an interview right afterwards. What he had to say, certainly eye-opening about a real breathtaking day out here. But again, I'm told that firefighter will be okay. Back to you.
Which is good news. All right, Sean, we'll hear from you again at 6. But we now want to bring in investigator Karen Drew, who's been reaching out to sources about this fire.
Yeah, and Karen, you anchored our live coverage this afternoon. We know it's really, really early in this investigation, but what are you hearing so far?
We are hearing a lot, Devin and Kim. First of all, we've uncovered a major issue. 3 fires on Wyoming Street just this week. There were 2 this morning, and another happened on Monday. I've been talking with my sources inside the fire department. They're telling me all of the fires were abandoned homes, and they think they may have a firebug on their hands. We're not only talking about the 3 fires on Hollywood Street. There also was a recent fire on the 5600 block of 7 Mile and the 400 block of West Brentwood. That happened all in recent weeks. So the question is, what's going on? Could we seriously have someone starting fires and putting lives at risk? The lives of those who live in the neighborhood, and then today, the lives of the firefighters as that home collapsed on them. Another issue I'm hearing from my sources, water pressure. It was an issue in the morning fires on Hollywood, and we all know that should not happen. The fire chief said all the fire hydrants were working, but I'm going to tell you, I'm talking to my sources. They tell me that is not the situation. They need to be improved. We're talking, we're digging more, and we'll let you know what we find out.
Yeah, it's a massive issue and a huge component to fighting a fire. But we'll have a lot more ahead on Local 4 News at 6. Our coverage also continues over at clickondetroit.com.
That's right. And there you can go listen to all the radio traffic from the fire scene, including the Mayday call and the massive response from fire crews across the city.
All right, other top story at 5. New numbers show the nation's economy is slowing down, stoking fears that a recession could be on the horizon. Others argue it's already here. In Washington, Democrats say agreement on a new spending bill will provide relief to struggling Americans. Republicans warn it'll make things worse. Chris Pallone in Washington with more. Chris.
A day after the Fed raised interest rates to get higher prices under control, we learned the nation's gross domestic product shrank for the second straight quarter, a sign the COVID rebound is cooling off. A broad gauge of the economy's health, the nation's gross domestic product declined for the second quarter in a row, 0.9% after a 1.6% drop in the first quarter. A potential sign a recession could be near.
The question is not whether the economy is slowing. The question is, are we slowing it so much that it gets to recession levels of pain? And we just don't know yet.
The Federal Reserve is trying to slow the economy by raising interest rates, an attempt to tame consumer prices, now at a 40-year high. But it's walking a tightrope, hoping to lower inflation without sparking a recession. President Biden says a new Senate Democrats' climate and tax bill will lower health care costs and prescription drug prices, providing relief to millions.
Agreed that this bill will reduce inflationary pressures on the economy.
Republicans pounced, slamming the new bill's tax increases on corporations and the wealthy, and highlighting once again inflation and low consumer confidence.
Today's Democratic Party is a walking, talking economic disaster.
President Biden firing back, pointing to the nation's low unemployment rate and the billions of dollars corporations are investing in the U.S.
That doesn't sound like a recession to me. Thank you very much.
Mixed signals from an economy ravaged by the pandemic. Senate Democrats will now race to pass their tax and climate bill before the August recess. They'll need all 50 of their votes to pass it, and that's if a key analyst agrees it complies with Senate rules. In Washington, Chris Pallone, Local 4.
All right, Chris, while we wait to see what happens with the spending bill, the votes are in on a measure to boost U.S. computer chip production. More on that coming up on Local 4 News at 6.
Tonight, we're getting a new look at just how hard police had to work to recover 4 stolen vehicles last night. They were stolen from a holding facility not far from Ford World headquarters. Tim Pamplin had the night cam on the scene last night, and he joins us now with the update.
Ford Raptors stolen from the holding lot.
It wasn't long after the All Points bulletin went out that Michigan State Police were above one of those high-priced rides.
Never mind, he's flipping around to go back southbound on Strathmore.
4 masked men simply went into the holding lot at Ford and the Southfield Freeway, drove off in a number of these very expensive pickups.
North from West Chicago.
With a forward-looking infrared camera, you can see the heat emitted from this vehicle. It's been driven hard. Then the driver pulls over into a driveway. The driver doesn't quite know which way to go, running circles in the yard. That's when the police helicopter directs for ground crews to their men.
He's docked up.
We were quick on the scene with the night cam as well, as one of those suspects told to put his hands behind his back. He's going downtown for questioning. Michigan State Police taking 2 into custody and recovering 4 vehicles.
The individuals that stole the car were all wearing ski masks, so in July it was pretty easy to figure out who they were.
Again, these vehicles valued anywhere from $88,000 to $135,000. Simply can't escape the eye in the sky. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Hey, Tim. Governor Whitmer in Macomb County today talking about fixing Michigan's roads.
She stopped along that massive project along Mound Road that's tied up traffic all summer. Rod Maloney caught up with the governor today and folks who say more needs to be done to get those roads fixed.
Back in 2018, for our pothole patrol, we used to come out here to Mound Road a lot because the road was a disaster. And at the time, Macomb County didn't have the funding to be able to repair it. So they did the unusual. They went to Washington directly, saying that this is an important road and they need the money. And strangely enough, the answer came back, sure, you can have $100 million.
Because this is also called the National Defense Corridor. So today, after placing another $32 million in this year's state budget for the project, the governor toured it with Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle.
It's so much more than just resurfacing. This is a rebuild. They're rebuilding 9 miles of Mound Road, and I think the county exec might have mentioned it, but This is about $8 billion of commerce annually right here on this stretch.
Across the state, the governor reminded 16,000 lane miles and 1,200 bridges got a makeover this year, claiming it vaults Michigan from worst to first.
Really leading the nation when it comes to rebuilding our infrastructure.
It's certainly part of the governor's reelection pitch, and yet Michigan House Republican chair of the Transportation Committee, Jack O'Malley, says not so fast.
No, I don't think she deserves any great credit for roads being fixed.
He maintains the roads getting all the attention either have an M or a US in front of them, accounting for a mere 7% of all Michigan byways.
The roads that people drive to go to the hardware store, the grocery store, or the pharmacy are the local roads, and they still stink. And we need to do more to get dollars to our local roads.
There is some work in that department being done. They've got this funding scheme where MDOT takes federal dollars and buys them and then passes them down to local communities. This year, about $50 million. Over the next couple of years, another $175 million or so. But when you consider that for the 9-mile stretch that they're fixing on Mound Road between 59 and 696, that's $130 million. So it's not going to go too terribly far. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Never seems to. All right, Rod.
The outbreak of salmonella infections linked to certain Jif peanut butter products is over. That's according to the CDC. The outbreak triggered a massive recall in May and led an investigation by the FDA. The peanut butter products were produced at a J.M. Smucker plant in Lexington, Kentucky. There were 21 total illnesses linked to the impacted peanut butter across 17 states, including here in Michigan. You can check to see if your peanut butter was included in the recall by heading to the homepage of clickondetroit.com.
More to come at 5 on this Thursday.
Let's check in with Brett.
Things are looking nice, and this weekend looking even nicer. But following that, more active weather, showers and storms, and heat. We'll dive into it in just a bit.
All right, Brett, also what the Kremlin is now saying about the potential of a prisoner swap to bring Paul Whelan and Brittany Griner home.
But first, a Michigan deputy knew exactly what to do to save his own life. What happened in just a matter of moments that left him desperate for help. We'll have that next.